Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So this is our first video. We were following our previous channel. It got deleted, so we're starting all over. So if you've never seen us before, my name is Velika and
Fidel.
And yeah, so our channel is basically going to be like vlogs, and we're going to try to do challenges and all that. So yeah, it's going to be like everything. But today's gonna be a Q&A that was like super requested in my last channel, and I was supposed to do it and then like it got deleted. So we're gonna do it today. And since it's still April, it's like honoring the whole Autism Awareness Month. So yes, I basically posted a post on my Instagram with just basically inviting people to ask me infidel questions regarding autism, since our daughter was diagnosed. She was diagnosed early at 2 years old, but was officially diagnosed like recently, like a few months back. She's gonna be 3 already. So yes, let's get started, guys. So the first question is, what made you think she had? So I'm assuming what made you think she had autism. Honestly, we never really like thought she had autism. We kind of just thought like, oh, you know, by the way, my daughter's name is Zyla. We were basically like that she's just a diva. Because she wouldn't, the signs when they told us her diagnosis and they told us why they thought it, we were like, oh, we thought it was because, you know, she was just, that was just her personality. So we never really thought of it until they told us. Second question is, how old was she when you found out she had autism? Like I mentioned earlier, she was 24 months. It was at her 24-month checkup when they told us that she was showing a lot of signs, early signs of autism. So they wanted us to send her to early intervention to get, you know, to be seen and all that. And a few months after, that's when they told us. So she was 24 months. And then, what were the signs early on, and what made you start to question if she was autistic? Like I said earlier, we never really questioned it. Like I said, we were so shocked when they told us, you know, that she had autism, right? Because she's super smart. She's always been super smart. The only thing that did concern us was the fact that she was 24 months and she wasn't saying anything. Like, in comparison to my son, who is 14 months older than her. Like when he was like 1.5, he was like talking everything, and like Zyla was 24 months and she was not even saying mom. So like that's the only thing that was kind of like, oh, you know, but then at the same time she was premature. So then we're like, maybe it's that, you know. So yeah, we never really questioned it until they like told us. Then we're like, oh, okay. And they started telling us like what autistic kids do, and we're like, yeah, Zyla does do a lot of that. Are your family supportive? And do they treat your kids any different? Want to answer that one?
Well, I think they do because, well, they understand that Zyla can't really understand. So, because she does have a problem with her behavior. So it's kind of like, she's like the delicate flower that you can't mess with because you don't want to hurt her feelings, or like, I don't know, if you tell her no and you tell Matias no, she takes it a whole different level. And well, pretty much there is a difference between them because Matias understands and Zyla really doesn't. So
yeah, and when we say like Matias, it's not just Matias, because my kids are being raised with my sister's kids as well. So it's like a total of, my sister has 4 boys, but I'm gonna say 3 because the 4th one was just born, so he doesn't really count yet. But literally like everyone is treated so much differently than Zyla. Like, and we kind of just say like Zyla's a princess, that's why. Like that's what we say, and they understand it now. But our family is super supportive, thankfully. Like our family and friends have been so supportive. Like our friends are super understanding. Like they also like when was it, like what month was it when we did the autism walk and like Adrian and Karina went? And they like made us shirts and stuff. It was a few months ago. There was like this autism walk, and I invited my friend and her husband and her kids, and like they made us shirts. Like they're so supportive. My family, like, and when I say my family, I'm not just talking about like my mom and my sister. No, I'm talking about like my aunts, my uncles, my cousins. Like they're all so supportive, thankfully. Has the autism taken over her body and weakened her bone mass? From what they've told me, Zyla has mild autism, so hopefully that doesn't happen, but from what I was told, it probably won't happen with Zyla's case. How do you guys plan on going forward with it, like therapy, or does she take medications? Therapy, we're doing therapy 5 days a week right now, and we're going to continue that until she's 3. When she turns 3, she's going to go with the school district, and we're still trying to see if we want to put her like in a special ed class, or if we want to put her into a regular class and have a TA, because it's up to us, and she does have mild autism. I want to try doing a regular class with a TA and then see if, like, you know, if that doesn't go well and she's not getting, you know, the help she needs, then I would do the special ed. But I do want to try, like, I don't just want to go to one thing and just stick with that. Like, I want to see what works for her. Does she take medications? Right now, we tried melatonin, and that doesn't really work. Like, because she doesn't sleep, like, at all. So, like, no naps during the day, and then she still doesn't fall asleep till like 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning. And we tried melatonin, which is like a natural supplement, but it like makes her super moody, and I just rather not give it to her.
Well, at least the next day. Like, if we give it to her for that sleep, the next day she'll be like...
Yeah, she's super moody. When a parent has a child with special needs, we are often judged or critiqued for outbursts or tantrums our children have. It is not because they are bratty or spoiled, but trying to communicate with what they want or need. Then we get these judgmental stares like, control your kid. Have you ever been in a situation like so? If so, how did you proceed with that?
Recently with yours?
Okay, so not long ago I went to Disneyland with my friend, and it was my friend and like a bunch of her like they're not family, but they're like kind of like family, like they're friends since they were like tiny, so it's like family. And in total there was like about 30 of us, and we were at Disneyland. And I have this pass on my stroller that kind of makes my stroller count as a wheelchair, so I'm allowed to take it into the rides and stuff. So yeah, all of them were all up in the front, and I was trying to get through the line, you know, to meet up with them, because they were just waiting for me, my kids who were in my stroller, and then my friend. So it was just the 3 of us, right? And we're trying to pass, and this lady like was so rude, like in front of her kids. She was like, there's already like 30 of you guys over there. And then I ignored it. I was like, you know what, ignore it, Valika, keep walking. I kept walking, and then she goes, and by the way, the strollers go out there. And I was like, okay, I can't. So then I like pointed it out, like, this is a wheelchair pass. Like, I have a wheelchair pass, I can bring my stroller in here. And she's like, well, wouldn't it be so convenient if we can all bring our strollers in here? And I was like, I like pulled my canopy back. I was like, my daughter's autistic, I have to have my stroller in here. She just looked at me, and like she still gave me a dirty look. But like sometimes, most of the time when things like this happen, I'm able to like kind of keep my composure and breathe a little bit, and like, you know, like husa, and just let it go. But there are times where it's like, okay, we can't. There's also been like the time at Target when she was throwing the tantrum because she wanted the stroller. And so many people were staring at us, because Zyla's tantrums are like literally like if someone's beating her. Like, it's so bad, and she like throws herself, and sometimes she like smacks us, and like people stare. Like, I can only imagine what people are saying. Like, they're probably like, that little girl's hitting her parents. Like, I can only imagine. They stare so ugly, and like most of the time we ignore it, but like there are times where we kind of say something back. We shouldn't, but sometimes we can't help it. Like, as parents, sometimes you cannot help it. So yeah, sometimes it doesn't go very well, but we do get, when Zyla throws tantrums, like, we do get a lot of stares, a lot. When she had her EEG, what were the results? So for those of you who don't know, she had an EEG at about what, like she was 1 year old or so? She was like about one or so. She had an EEG because she was having a lot of seizures, and her doctor wanted to get the EEG to make sure that the seizures hadn't affected her brain in any sort of way. The results came back and everything was good. They had not affected her brain whatsoever. So yeah, that was basically why we got the EEG, just to make sure that the seizures weren't. And the seizures were like stress related seizures, coming from breath holding spells. So yes. What type of autism does she have? So I mentioned earlier she has mild autism, so it's like mild. What they told me is that she's super bright, and the only the only areas that she is below on is emotional and social.
Speech.
And well, speech, she's gotten a lot better. She's one of her therapies is speech therapy, and since she started it, like, she says everything now. Yeah, we've been in therapy for almost a year now, and it's like, it's done so many good things for her. But yeah, so she has mild autism, and it's basically just emotional and social and behavioral, because of the whole she does have these outbursts where she like gets super violent. But yeah, so that's that. If there's a time where when she has a meltdown when I'm at the store and people give dirty comments, thankfully no one has said anything like about her tantrums, you know, like they'll like stare at us, but they don't say anything. Thankfully they haven't said anything, because if they were to say something,
I always wish they do.
Yeah, they've never said anything, but sometimes you do think that, like, oh my god, I hope they say something, because it's like, why are you just staring like that with that face? Like, because there's faces to faces. Like sometimes like when kids cry, like I kind of turn around and look, but just because I want to see what's going on. Like I want to make sure the kid's not hurt. Like what if the mom's not there and he fell? Like maybe I can go help and pick him up. So like there's different kinds of staring, and like the stares that these people give are like they look and they go like that, and then sometimes they look away and they like kind of shake their head. And those are the kinds of stares that you're like, please say something, so I can shut your ass up. But thankfully no one has ever said anything like that. Have doctors said what her autism will be like or affect her in the future as she gets older? Her therapist and her child psychologist and all that, they've said that her autism is super mild, so it's basically just going to affect her social skills and her emotional, I guess, skills also. She's super smart, like I was saying earlier. Like she's so smart, you guys have no idea. But yeah, social and emotional is the only thing like where she has trouble. Like sometimes she doesn't know how to control her emotions, whether it's like super good emotions or super like bad emotions. Like she doesn't know what to do with herself and her emotions. Like there are times where she's like super excited about being somewhere, and she'll just like go, like she'll find like the weirdest thing to do. Like there'll be a chair and she'll like climb on and off that chair for like a good 30-40 minutes, like nonstop, like just doing that. And that's just because she's like nervous, because she's in a new environment, and instead of like acting nervous, you know, she does something like that. So that's basically and we're working on that. That's what all these therapies are for. They're supposed to help her, you know, deal with things how quote unquote normal people should deal with them. What were some early signs she was showing? So the signs that they told me early on were at her 24-month checkup, when they told me that she was walking on her tippy toes. That was the first thing that they noticed. Another thing that was when he would like call her, she wouldn't turn and look at him. Like she would kind of ignore him. Another one was he was like pointing at like toys and be like, oh, look over here, and she would look at his finger and not like what he was pointing at.
Flapping the arms.
Oh, flapping her arms. She would do that a lot. Yeah. Yeah, and I think those were like the main signs that he saw then and there, where he was like, and that's when he told me like, is there anyone in your family with autism? Are you aware of what it is? And he basically told me that he wanted me to take her to get evaluated. My little brother, who is 2, has autism. What are some things that help you guys? What calms her down? Her blanket. Milk. And her blanket.
And milk.
I think those are her like 2 comfort. We were just talking about that the other day, how like she's gonna be 3 and she's still on the bottle, and like we want to take her off the bottle so bad, but it's like I don't feel like she wants the bottle, because she like literally like she like wants milk, and it has to be the bottle. And it's so weird because it has to be that bottle. Like it has to be that exact bottle. If it is not that bottle, she will flip. and it's more like a comfort thing. Like she does it when she can't sleep, or when she feels like uneasy, or when she feels like nervous, or like I said, when we go somewhere she's never been. Like certain situations she wants the bottle, and she will like go crazy if she doesn't have it. And then her blanket, like she cannot be without her blanket, like she can't. And it's a huge ass blanket, like it like fits in our bed, in our queen bed, like it covers our whole queen bed, and she needs to have it. But those two things calm her down, but those are things that she found herself to calm her down. Other than that, like when she's having like a breakdown, we like hold her, like we hold her and we like stroke her hair, and we're like there, and like we're just super calm about it. Like we've noticed, like in the beginning, before they even told us, you know, all of this stuff, we would get frustrated. Like I remember I would get so frustrated. I would tell Fidel sometimes, like, I don't know what to do anymore. She doesn't stop crying. I have no idea. She doesn't tell me what she wants. And it's like, now I like try to get like I try to understand her. Like I'll like, it's a lot different, but I just feel like calming her down just basically consists of like just showing her like extra love. Like when she's throwing a tantrum, instead of getting nervous and upset about it, I like show her extra love, like extra than I normally do. Has your day-to-day routine changed since the diagnosis? Also, has this changed the relationship between you and Fidel? So it did change, like our day-to-day routine. If you guys followed me on Instagram for a long time, you guys would know we would go to Disneyland a lot. We were there like every other, like we were there like twice a week, huh?
Yes.
And since her diagnosis, we stopped going. Like we don't go to Disneyland anymore. Now we try to do things with the kids that are a little more educational. So like we'll go to museums, the zoo. We try to do things that'll benefit her more and teach her more, other than just like fun things. Also, I mean, the therapy changed. It changed our like day-to-day a lot, because like sometimes we can't do things because she has a therapy at 11 and then she has a therapy at 3. So like it's like we can't do something in between it because it's just really hard. So yeah, it's changed, but I mean it's changed for the better, I would say, because now the kids, like there's a structure. Like they're not in school, but there's a structure there because, you know, therapists come in and out all the time. So it's helped them a lot. But that's how our day-to-day has changed. Has this changed the relationship between me and Fidel? I feel like it changed it for the better. I mean, because it changed us. Like the diagnosis changed us. Like I feel like we're a lot more understanding. We're a lot more like, not just towards Zyla, but like towards situations now. We see life a little differently now. So it's harder to get like a rise out of each other now. So it's like we kind of just focus on the bigger picture, which is like our daughter and like her well-being. So we don't really pay attention to like the stuff we used to pay attention to before. So it changed our relationship, but it changed it for the better, I feel. Are you scared? I'm gonna have Fidel answer this question, and then I'll answer it myself. Are you scared for your daughter to be bullied and judged?
Of course, you know, that's my princess. And besides that, yeah, everybody has their own like little way of growing up in like elementary, middle school, and be talked bad about because of certain like just envy, you know. So of course I'm scared for that, and I don't know how Zyla will take it, so that's one of my fears for her.
Yeah, I think when Zyla was like first diagnosed, that's what we talked about. We were like, I think that's the first thing I said to Fidel, like that's the only thing, like within ourselves and my family, like we're gonna love Zyla regardless. She's still Zyla. Nothing's changed. But I was like, that was the first thing that I thought about. Like, fuck. Like, I don't want her to go to school and get bullied. And then, because, you know, I don't know if it like varies from where people live, but like in LA, it's huge and your schools are overpopulated and people talk and girls are bullied so much. And that was like my worst fear. Like my worst fear was to have a daughter, first of all, because I didn't want my daughter to go through what I've been through. So then when we found out that she had autism, that was like my fear. Like my fear was for Zyla to be bullied because I'm a parent and you try to create a bubble and put your kids like in this bubble. And I just wouldn't want her to like be judged or bullied by something that she has no control over or something that she didn't choose. So I think as parents to someone with autism, that's like the worst fear, especially because we're not going to be there with her all the time, so we can't protect her from like comments all the time. So that's our biggest fear, probably. That's probably like our only fear now, because yeah, that's that. Yeah, guys, that's it.
Thank you for listening.
Watching. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for asking these questions. I hope that we were able to answer most of them. Yeah, I hope you guys stay and subscribe and keep on watching our future vlogs. Bye.